We've heard a lot about that recently. George Will has dedicated 2 articles to, hoping that Trump gets shellacked and Trump doesn't represent Republicans. Well, I'm here to tell you that he actually does represent Republicans. He does. And this is because the people like Donald Trump, or that the people like George Will, have spent 15 years not speaking up and remaining silent, while the Ann Coulters of the world, while the Rush Limbaughs of the world, while the Sean Hannitys of the world, and then the Tea Partiers of the world essentially hijacked your party. And you didn't say squat. And these elected officials, and let's just watch all the hand-wringing of these 19 candidates, or the 18 candidates besides Trump. They're all sitting there wringing their hands saying, ooh, we don't want to criticize Trump, because if we do, we're going to, if we make it through, we're going to lose his voters. Or when there's just a few of us, we're going to get hammered over the head for being, judgmental about what Trump is saying. And this hand-wringing that they're doing right now is the same hand-wringing that's been going on for literally, I would say it's more than 15 years, but let's just say generous, and it's 15 years. Like, where were the Republican thought leadership community? Where were they when, for instance, Ann Coulter went off on the 9/11 widows? Because we heard what she had to say, and it was all over the news media. Meanwhile, it's essentially the liberal crew who is saying, maybe you should not insult and degrade the women who have lost their loved ones in 9/11. Where was the outrage? The thing is that the Republican Party is completely lacking in outrage that needs to be acted upon. And I know that secretly in circles they're talking amongst themselves going, yeah, I don't really think we should be calling children of immigrants anchor babies, and I don't think that that's right, and I don't think it's this whole Donald Trump thing is right, but they won't say it. There's a few people, for the last couple of weeks, CNN did an article about the friends and foes of Donald Trump. And I found that to be really interesting. They're sort of like the these are the guys that typically we can count on every single time to kind of batten down the hatches and bring things down to where the folks in the middle of the road need to see Republicans. That's where they need to see Republicans. And so George Will is one of those. From time to time, he finally breaks away and says, I don't love Donald Trump. And he's been hammering Donald Trump on Twitter. But I'm going to say we're about a year or two short for that. We're about 15 years too short for that, actually. And it is really time for Republicans, unless you're going to step up and tell Donald Trump to shut the hell up, you need to shut the hell up. You need to shut the hell up. And also, while you're shutting the hell up, you need to work amongst yourselves about how you're going to talk to the American people moving forward. Because this cannot continue. It can't continue if you ever expect to win a presidential election again, at least. And for the folks in there who are respectable Republican folks, will you please lift up your voice? John Kasich, please lift up your voice. I know you've been doing it a little bit, but what the country needs now is for all candidates to cease appealing to the lowest common denominator. People who don't believe in science, people who want to talk about our immigrants in such ways and call babies anchor babies. What is going on? We need to take it down several notches, and we need to be a more solution-based political system and a less bombastic-based political system. And I invite the Republicans to join us in that conversation. But until they do, shut the hell up.